So this area used to be a coal mine.
Coal mine?
The first people living here were like the miners, the workers of the mine, in the mine. And in Colombia in the 50s, nowadays we have some violence in small towns in the country. So lots of people have been coming from the small towns, they lost their houses over there, animals, coming to the cities. And they, if you're going to Bogotá, Medellín, Cali, the same situation. Lots of people are living in the mud. This type of neighborhood we call like an invasion. And when a lot of people are going to someone else's land and without paying for the land or buying the or asking for permission, they build their houses there. So as you can see, all these houses are like self-made. And if the government, they don't ask you to live in a proper time, eventually they you have right for your house, right? You have legal documents. Back the owner of the land, he doesn't love his property. And now you have an ending legal fight between the owner of the land and then the owner of the house. So I guess at the moment some people already bought the land, but I don't think every one of them they have done it. And around 10 years ago they built this station. Inside there's like 2 stations. This is like the first one, we're going to stop in the second. And from there we're going to do the rest of the tour by boat.
Okay.
When they built this one, lots of people from Cali, they came here to pay attention of the view. But I don't think that many people were very eager to walk outside.
Okay.
Because they don't know what to expect. So yeah, still the people are quite cautious about coming here. That's why you're going to see lots of, well, some people coming here just taking pictures and then they go to their houses. To set and then we continue in the next one.
Okay. Usually we have someone that is coming with us, like see. Okay.
Okay, so we are going to start the tour in this place. This one is called Lleras Camargo. And in one moment, you can picture when this place was just like a couple of houses around here. Okay. They got a letter from the government telling them that you're going to get a big take from this place. Everyone was very scared because they want to lose their house. So the neighbors got together and they were trying to find some solutions for that topic. One of the ideas was to send a letter to the president telling him their situation, right? And I guess the president was reading that in Cali there is like a neighborhood called Alberto Lleras Camargo, and when he wrote that name he was very surprised because that was his name. So I guess he felt so honored with that situation that he told everyone, telling you have to keep that area, right? Don't do anything. So thanks to that simple gesture, they were able to keep their neighborhood. And now we're going to do a lovely walk around. Okay. In Medellin, there is like a similar neighborhood. They call it like the Commune 13. One day you get there, you can go to Medellin as well. You know? So you can compare how much the tourism can impact one city, especially in a neighborhood like this. And the government as well, the local government, they are seeing what is happening in Medellin. And now, okay guys, so we are located now in one of the most popular places to hang out, right? But this is like a court. And before this one was built, we used to have like a little mountain around here. ¿Qué tal, joven? ¿Ya o no? Bienvenido. Sí, hablé con Fabián y él fue el único que registró hoy. Entonces ahí no hay más por hoy. Ya le escribí a los chicos y tal vez venga como Javier. Bueno, pero queda bien, que siga relajado. Juancho, ¿cómo está usted?
Ya viene.
Bueno, pues. Okay, so around 40 years ago, there used to be like a little mountain here, so it wasn't possible to play anything here. Some friends they like to play some football in the street, and when someone hit a ball, they broke someone's window. So the neighbors didn't like that one. That's why they needed to go into that direction to play some sports over there. 20-minute walk. One day, a couple of friends were walking, and one of them he saw the mountain, and he was that one. They were thinking it would be nice to bring back what we had before. So they started doing some agreements with the people who took over this territory. They were saying that if you guys would like to get smoke, for example, you can stay here. You don't have to go everywhere. But if the kids are here playing, you should be under the roof.
Okay.
And if the kids are going there to hang out with them, to ask them politely, you should be in your side. At the top of the mountain, you see like here, there's like a small primary school. And sometimes the kids are here playing, and their parents and teachers are okay with that because they know that the guys around here, they're going to take care of the kids. Something different used to happen when they were younger. When they were like around 12 years old, some people got recruited in some local gangs, and they taught them how to smoke different things because they wanted to get the customers early. So the idea is that the next generation, they are not going to have the same problems like they used to have. And apparently, they have been doing a good job. Next to that one, we had some murals around here. Last year in August, they decided to do this one. Some graffiti artists from Mexico came here. That's why they say Colombia, Mexico. They call themselves Santa Familia. Okay. And the topic last year was salsa. Salsa and urban music. You know, how do you call that group again? The Wu-Tang Clan?
Oh, the Wu-Tang Clan? Yeah, okay.
Right there.
Okay.
See, with the phoenix?
Yeah, okay, I see the sign, the Wu-Tang sign.
Yeah. So the topic was salsa and urban music. And here. ¿Tu hermano qué?
Sí, ya viene.
¿Ya viene?
Sí, lo que está haciendo la
¿Está trabajando tu hermano? So they decided to call this place like the Friendship Court. They painted this one last year in April. The date when this place was founded, the 3rd of November of '85. And the guy that we have to the right, Mr. Vicente, he was the guy cutting the mountain, remember?
Yeah, okay.
This is how he looks now. This is how he looks like now. He doesn't live in the neighborhood anymore. He lives in the side of the city, in another city called Jamundín. When they did the painting last year, they asked him to come, and he came with his family. And I think that everyone in his family was very happy to see the grandpa on the wall.
Yeah.
One of the best things that happens in the neighborhood is that they like to give the recognition when the people are alive, not after they die. Oh, by the way, the first time that they did some graffiti around here, it was in 2016. The guy at the top, Canodelix, he's a graffiti artist. That's his Instagram. He has a very interesting event called the Surface. He does a graffiti tour around Cali, Bogota, Medellin once a year, and they come to this type of neighborhood. You can see the neighborhood is very humble. So for me, it's a very interesting event because the graffiti artists, they are international artists that they pay their own tickets to come here to work for free. Back the community, they should provide the housing, the food, and the paintings. As you saw, this place is quite humble, so how did they raise the money to pay for the paintings? Well, they use a technique that they used to do when someone died. You know that dying is expensive?
It is.
So when people found out that someone died, some people went to the streets, one person in this side of the street and a rope on the floor.
when a car or a motorbike is passing people the road, the car stops and someone approaches with a cup. Hey neighbor, this is happening. Can you give us some money? So they were collecting money all over the neighborhood. And thanks to that one, they were able to pay for the debt and for the paintings. The good thing about the community is that when it's required, they really know how to work together. Zapa in Spanish, in Colombian Spanish, is like a slang. It's like a snitch. So his friends are walking next to him, they call him Zapa, and he replies Zapa. It looks like they like him a lot, that's why he got paint on the wall. Next to that one, the guy that we have in front of us, this is not Superman, this is Rey Barreto. And Rey Barreto is one of the most famous salsa singers from Latin America. I think he was from Puerto Rico, but he was living in the US. And this is the cover of one of his albums, and this album is called Indestructible. And Indestructible is one of the fastest salsa songs that you can dance in a club. Do you plan on going out tonight?
I might. Yeah,
A good club to go there is called La Topa Tolondra. Have you heard?
no, I haven't.
La Topa. It's usually very good on Mondays, and they have like a salsa class from 7 till 9 p.m. So if you would like to go there, that's a nice option.
Bueno.
Okay, so here we have the painting of Dylan. This guy was one of their friends, of the people that say hello to us. They usually hang out around here, and he was living in the corner, where there's like the pink curtain. A couple of years ago, like around 5 or 6 years ago, two guys are riding a motorbike. They saw him, one of the guys pulled the gun, and he got murdered in the middle of the streets. Well, to be honest, apparently he got shot here, but he died at the bottom. I asked the guys, was he involved in anything bad? And they say the only mistake is that he looks like one of his friends. He has like kind of the same haircut, the same height, and the same body shape.
So they thought he was.
That day he was wearing a hat, so.
They thought he was somebody else.
Yeah.
That sucks.
And that guy, he was in the. Maybe we're going to see him on the way. So his friends decide to do his portrait here, and next to that one, they write down a lovely message. No one really dies as long as there's someone who loves them and remembers them forever, and we're plenty. Another thing that they say is that sometimes they are hanging out around here. Very late at night, right?
Yeah.
And, for example, like this guy. Until listen that inside this place, someone is moving the chairs and tables. With a flashlight, the loco is inside and no one is there. So the most common belief is that there is some ghost. The thing is that apparently he used to be one of the boundaries in the neighborhood. And now apparently like around 7 people has been murdered in this spot. So just in case, let's move on. I think we're going to have a very good view.
Okay.
This one was located here. This is like a soup, right? And some vegetables. This is an illustration of how they were able to survive as a community. At the worst time of COVID.
So that was right here?
Right here. So at the worst time of COVID, people found out that, for example, in this block, some families didn't have enough food. So they decided to get together and to do some communal dinners. They talked to everyone, telling them, if you guys don't have enough food, please bring everyone with your family with a plate. We're going to feed every single one. So thanks to that one, they were able to survive. At the worst time, they really needed to rely on their neighbors, friends, and family to make it work. And at the same time, and I asked the guys, how was the violence in the neighborhood? Did you guys have any riots or something like that? And they say no, that everything was fine. The only problem is that within 1 month, the police, they didn't feel safe and they decided to leave the neighborhood. And at that time, the gang members, they felt free. So they were walking with their guns outside. There used to be some gunshots in some corners. But at the same time, so the leaders of the gangs, they started talking to each other. And they were saying, how come we're fighting against us if the common enemy is the government? You know, like the enemy of my enemy is my friend. So that's why they decided to do the peace. And thanks to that one, they were able to solve like around 85% of the issues that they have in the neighborhood. So COVID actually improved this area. Want to get some water? I don't know if you want something, to buy something. I need some water.
Does he have orange juice?
¿Tiene ojo de naranja?
So is that just a...
They were thinking that she was very cute, especially her father. He was one of the graffiti artists, that's why she got painting right here. And the work that we just did is something that I didn't used to do before. Before we used to come straight from the station and then we took this street. Back around 1 year, like in February last year, I was here with a group of 8 people. A guy in a motorbike came to the corner, he put a gun to the side and then he was screaming, "You cannot do that one anymore, you have to leave now, you are not welcome here." He screamed that one 3 or 4 times and then he was gone. ¿Qué tal, Andrés? ¿Cómo va todo? So we came that day with another guide and then he said, "It's okay, you can continue, I want to talk to him." I asked him 3 times, "Are you sure?" And he was so cool that he said, yeah, it's okay, you can continue. So we continued that day and I tell you later what happened next. Finally, this is like the owner of this house. He's the owner of the 2 roosters and he's very proud of this one. Say like this one brings him good money. This is a good fighter. context about what was happening in Cali in the COVID time. When COVID came to the country, the government was pretty strict and the people were very obedient. Government said that everybody at home and we were in our houses. Personally, I was thinking that 2 weeks or maybe a month will be fine, but that didn't happen. We had 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and at the end of the third month, the government decided to increase the taxes. And at that time, most of the people were very surprised because, in one hand, lots of people lost their income, right? Very few people were able to work from home, and on the second hand, we know that the government is quite corrupt. How much do you think is the minimum salary in Colombia per month?
I don't know. I think I heard it was like around $50 a month or something, 100.
This year is 350.
350.
And the COVID time was 250, right? That's not that much money, but if you live in this type of neighborhood, you can actually make it work. I asked some people here, maybe around 6 or 7 people, if they are renting or do they own their houses, and they say that they own their houses.
Okay.
But if you have to rent, maybe the rent of this apartment will be $80 per month.
Okay.
So if you made 340 or 50, you spend 80 here, you still have some money left.
So like that hotel, the Torrey de Cali,
Right.
I know they have like regular apartments that people rent. Are those mostly foreigners or are those some Colombians?
No, the thing is that I'm going to ask you another question. How many people do you think makes the minimum salary in Colombia in percentage? 1%, 2%, 3%?
I'll say maybe 65.
Half percent of the people in Colombia, they make the minimum salary.
Okay.
30% additionally, they make less than that. So actually around 20% of the people in Colombia, they have a good income for Colombian standards. You know?
Okay.
So you see like 10 people from Colombia, 2 of them are good, the other ones are getting there.
And they said the population is 45% Afro-Colombians? More than that?
In Colombia, the Afro are 8%, I would say.
Oh, okay.
Back in the Pacific Coast, then you have like around 90% are Afro.
Okay.
Have you been to Buenaventura? One day, if you have the chance, you should go to the Pacific Coast, to the beach. Over there it's very lovely, and then you are going to find the biggest Afro-Colombian community.
Okay.
But if you are going to Bogota, Medellin, other cities, you are not going to see as many. Cali in that sense is very, very mixed.
Okay.
So when the people listened that they were going to increase the taxes in Colombia, they were not very happy, but the people in Cali decided to do something about it. Lots of people went outside, although we were still in lockdown. The protest was fine the first week, very peaceful, but at the end of that week, a social leader got killed by the police, so the situation was very bad. The bus station that we took, most of them they got destroyed. Every single thing with a bank sign in the city, the banks that I saw, all of them they got destroyed, their windows or furniture. They cleaned so many markets, the police went outside to intervene, and they had a very big fight with the police and the public for 2 months and a half. The protest was successful because they didn't increase the taxes, but that left some scarf in the city. Some people died, some people went missing, and some people went to jail because of that.
Okay.
When everything was quite calm, some people came to around the city. They did some graffitis. I'm going to show you a few that they had done. Want to get some water? I don't know if you want something, to buy something. To the left, that one is called Tangara Multicolor. In the middle one, we have a hummingbird, and around this area, you can find more than 170 different types of hummingbirds. And to the right, we have a possum. The nickname of possum in Colombia is chucha. And chucha in Colombia means the bad smell of the armpits. Body odor, right? And apparently when you pick it up, that one gets scared, picks up, and it smells quite bad. That's why they call it like that. I haven't seen one around, but if you see one, let me know, we can do a nice barbecue tonight. They say that this one tastes nicer than chicken, so I never tried one, so I'm quite curious. This place is quite busy for a Monday. you try some chontaduro?
I don't think so.
Have you been to the Alameda Market? Black door, that one is a bar. Super simple bar, nothing luxury. Back here you don't need much space, music and drinks, that's it.
So that's it.
And most of the things that they have down here in the neighborhood, oh my goodness, literally. This one likes to come here.
Oh, wow.
Most of the people has been to the Statue of Jesus. I don't know if you've been.
Oh, okay, so that's what it says.
You see the buildings at the back? It looks like a Lego. That one is like a new residential apartment. So Cali is building so many apartment buildings. the neighborhood was quite smaller. So pretty much for one house, one military person searching the houses. And according to the person who told me this story, if they found something valuable like money, food, or jewelry, they took it. Not all of them, of course, back. Some people lost their shit. So they took 30 guys from that block outside. They asked them to go to the floor. Apparently they were like around, let's say like the red house over there. And from that little mountain, the police were shooting into that direction. Juan Carlos was on the floor and he told me that he listened how the bullets were flying close to his head, and he saw how 4 people next to him, they got shot. And the person in charge of them, the police officer, told them, you have to leave now. Everyone was running, tried to get inside their houses, like the shooting didn't stop. Apparently, like the military force took the Silhouette building after home base, and they were shooting to the people at the bottom. People that they may think they belong to the guerrilla group, right? Picture that we belong to the police force. We need to bring some results. You see the guy over there. Let's say that we shooted at him. We went to see who do we got, and the guy has 14 years old. Nothing to do with this business, but we don't want to look bad with our boss. We put that weapon next to him, telling everyone that we got someone from the guerrilla group. We call that one false positive. That happened in different areas of the neighborhood. And of course, their friends, neighbors, and families, they were complaining about this topic. That as a small compensation, one of the military groups decided to donate the football field. Apparently, the football field, the swimming pool, and a few other things that they have in the neighborhood. They are here because as a small compensation for all the innocent life that they took in that war. The M19, according to Juan Carlos, they were only like 200 guys. For them, it was very easy to escape. And when they were gone, different gangs appeared in the neighborhood. And apparently, I'm working with one of them.
Okay.
Remember the story with the guy with the gun and if I see you tomorrow? The guy who told me if I see you tomorrow is the guy with us.
Oh, that's the guy?
Yeah, Javier.
Okay.
So, long story short, I get to make their bus, right? I want to show you a picture, a graphic. You can see. So this is the boss. He's there. And he's the father of the kid who say hello to me.
Oh, okay.
Fabian. So this is Javier, and this is the guy with the gun. Okay?
Cool.
So I asked them what's the problem, and they told me, well, the agreement that we have in the neighborhood is that after COVID, we're going to work between everyone, and apparently they were not included in this activity. Sometimes you guys start touring our territory, they hang out in front of the station, and so they saw us coming every day. And sometimes when I bring, like, say, like 10 people, they say, you guys are making X amount of money, and those days we haven't bring any money home. That's why they decided to do an introduction that it was very hard to miss. At that time, they were not able to use any type of transportation, motorbikes or cars. The only way of transportation was like the horses. Thanks to the horses, we were able to here in the mountain, there's like the start. That one used to be around the corner, but they told me it's so maintained. The other thing that happened is that this house is like the house of someone. He's one of the social leaders in the neighborhood. It's very interesting because when he was younger, he was so bad that they used to call him a tumor. He and his brother, right? But now in COVID, apparently he became very active in isolation. So some families were able to. He said that he was very proud to say that he was able to feed some families for around 18 months. And now in his house, now he works with the government and with the church, and he sells lunches. Every day he sells between 100 to 120 lunch per day, and the price of the lunch is 2,000. Very cheap, like 50 cents. areas in the whole Commune actually, like straight, right? And then I asked the guys what is happening, because usually when I come here, I find kids playing in the streets, a very nice family vibe. And they told me that a few years ago there used to be the start. This sector was like one of the main sectors of drug trafficking. They were selling drugs to the people. So different gangs they found out that it was like a big business for them, so they wanted to take over their territory. Because of that one, they used to have like lots of fights. Thanks to COVID, one more time, they dig the peace, and now, although they're still selling drugs apparently around here, they respect each other's territory. So no one is breaking to their neighborhood to fight against them. That's why we're able to walk around here. And hopefully in the future, more people in Cali are going to be more interested in coming here.
So you said that most people that live in Cali don't want to come here.
No, what I told you, like they don't have that much information about this place. Although now the Office of Tourism is doing more promotion for this place. So I think the more people are going to be more interested in coming here. Although I think it's going to be first like the tourists and then the local people. That's what happened in Medellin too. Colombia is divided by 3 mountain ranges. You know, here we can find this one to the west. Across that mountain, you are going to find the Pacificos of Colombia. And here, I don't know if you can see a little shade. It's like it's very cloudy, but here is like a massive mountain right here. One more time, all the green around us is mainly sugar. He was a teacher. He was living in the neighborhood, but he was giving classes at the bottom. One day close to Christmas, in a small coffee break with his colleagues, they were having a conversation, and they told him that place where you live, it looks like a lovely Christmas nativity scene. The only thing missing is a star at the top. I was thinking that's actually a good idea. So the first star that he built was in the middle of this weather. So now they took it down, and now they want to build a super bigger one right here. That's the one that I told you that in the name. It used to be the house of a dirty cop.
Oh, okay.
In the COVID time, all his enemies, they got together and they took advantage of that situation. They get rid of it.